Okay, I've reached another trail marker. That connects back to that loop trail that goes around the summit. And this here shows us that supposedly it's 3.4 back to the trailhead. And then this says 2.7 to our campsite. So I've seen from different people's trip reports online, this is where another thing kind of varies from what the trail map says. The trail map says that it should only be like 1 point something miles, not 2 point. And I've heard other people say similar things. So the other thing I've heard is that the Stewart Campsite is not that great, and it's also near the water source is inconsistent. And some people have speculated that they were going to move the campsite actually to a better water source. So we'll see when I get there if it seems like the one that I'm expecting or if it really is further. But feeling good, and we'll continue on and see how things are from this point. Hit the summit point at about 2 hours exactly into the hike. It's been a little over 2 hours and 45 minutes right now total since we left the car. So we'll see how much further it ends up being to the campsite, and I'll check in again and we'll see what the time's at that point. All right, so not 25 yards from where I just shut the camera off, we hit another trail marker. So this is what I thought it should be. This is saying that back the trail that way, it's 4.9 miles to the trailhead, and that it's 1.3 miles to the summit point. And I just walked past. Here's our sign here for the Stewart Campsite. There's also a marker here that says water. Hopefully that's the case. But these signs match what my trail map says. So not too sure what's right. I think this, unless they've created a new campsite that they are calling the Stewart Campsite and they haven't taken these signs down yet, I think the 1.3 miles I think it sounds like I just walked 1.3 rather than 2.7. So walking down to the campsite now, and I'll try and find a good spot for my hammock. Okay, here's the first part of the site. It's pretty open. Some good spaces if you had a tent or a tarp, but I'm not seeing anything that's really hammock worthy. Up there, you can see that there's a latrine. I've walked down to the lower section. It's a little bit muddy down here. I don't know if you can see that, but there are not really any good opportunities for hanging hammocks. So what I'm going to end up doing is going over here from this tree here to this one here. And the trees look okay. I might be a little bit worried about this one. I might think about that a little bit more. All right, I ended up being a little bit worried about that section of the tree up there. So I'm going with this. I had to hang the hammock pretty high in order to kind of stay above the brush there, but it looks okay. I sat in it and I think it'll be fine. So all I use is some webbing. I've got a loop tied in this section here, so it just goes around on itself. And then I did a marlin spike to the carabiner, and then it hooks right into the rest of the hammock suspension. Same thing on the other side, just with a different type of carabiner. So this goes up extremely quick. It took me, I don't know, 2 minutes to get it up at first, and then I made some adjustments so that I could get above that undergrowth over there. So I'm gonna take my Sawyer Mini and go and see if I can find wherever this water source is supposed to be, and I'll see what happens with that. Okay, so the water source at the campsite was really poor. It's just standing, there's not really much flowing, there's nothing really there. But I did find this as I was coming down the trail earlier. I did hear this trickling, and it's only about 100 yards from the campsite. So I walked up, and I'm going to get some water out of here now. Okay, so I've got my tarp and everything set up. Bed's pretty much set up in there. Taken my socks and boots off, and I've got on my Crocs. I just heated up water for my meal. I'm having Mountain House Pasta Primavera. It's a double serving, so that's good to go in there. Good morning from the hammock. I just woke up. It's about 5 or 6, and slept really well. It took me a while to fall asleep. I didn't fall asleep until maybe a little after 10, but I was really comfortable. I only got up a handful of times. Woke up, I don't know, maybe 3 times throughout the night, and it was, I don't know if something made a noise or if I got a chill or what, but woke up and fell right back asleep. Very comfortable. The insulated air core pad kept me nice and warm. No chills from underneath at all, unless my body was outside of the pad. And then I used my poncho liner as a top quilt. And I put some snaps along the end. I think you might be barely see one there. I just colored them to kind of match a little bit, just fooling around. But I put some snaps along the end and have it folded over, so I've got a little bit of a foot box. But plenty warm, so I'm gonna go grab my bear bag and get some coffee going and start packing up before I hike out. Just getting back to the trail board. Car's just down there. I just passed the first hikers that I've seen since getting close to the summit yesterday, and again, I couldn't quite tell if they were just going up for the day hike. I'm thinking so, but anyway, this morning got up out of the hammock, made some of that Starbucks Via coffee with about 6 ounces of water that I had left. I ended up making it down here fine without having to stop for more water. The hike down was really good. It took only about 2 hours, so that's about an hour less than it took to get to the campsite yesterday. So 4.9 miles in 2 hours. I was happy with that. Trekking poles. My trekking poles were fantastic. This is probably the 6th hike or so that I've done with the poles, and I'm never looking back. It's just so much better for my knees. My legs feel great today. The pack feels good. All in all, a great trip. I'm really happy. And now I'm gonna go find the Dunkin' Donuts and get a egg and cheese on an everything bagel and head home. Thanks for watching, and be sure to check out the video that I'm going to post along with this, that's going to have my full pack loadout that I filmed before leaving. Thanks.